There were many puppets, among which the one with the highest cultivation had already reached the first decay of heaven and man. All of these were the accumulated assets of the Dragon Armor clan, now entirely offered up by the new clan leader. As he walked, Wong Lin's gaze flickered. He pondered deeply. The battle with Sima and the sudden appearance of the mysterious fallen emperor, who ultimately bestowed upon him the title of Young Emperor, weighed heavily on his mind. Does that emperor have any connection to the Four Saints sect? If so, who is he? If not, then why did he treat me in this way? He only sent the jade pendant without any intention of meeting me. What could be behind this? Wong Lin furrowed his brow, his pace increasing. At first, he only mentioned the 5 breaths agreement, which I had expected. After all, my battle with Sima would likely draw him out. And since Sima was here to hunt me, according to the rules of the Land of Falling Stars, he should have been punished and driven out. But then that emperor killed Sima's clone. If it had been just a matter of driving him away, it would have been fine. But to kill him, that clearly expressed an attitude. After all, Sima was a third-step great power, and for that emperor to show such an attitude, it was undoubtedly meant to be seen by the Council of Elders. Clearly, within those few breaths, the emperor must have changed his mind. At first, his intent seemed to be merely observing, but in the end, he personally intervened. What could have caused his change of heart? Wong Lin's thoughts grew deeper. Suddenly, his steps halted. He thought of a possibility. I possess 5 sources of primordial force. This fallen emperor has profound cultivation and could very well have sensed it. Or perhaps it was the flame crystal I used in the end, revealing the fire origin. If this emperor is truly connected to the Four Saints sect, he would immediately recognize me as the Vermilion Bird. Perhaps these 2 possibilities are the true reasons for his change of heart. But this is all just speculation. The truth remains uncertain. And he used that messenger to punish the Dragon Armor clan leader, trying to show his power over me. Ultimately, he informed me of the elder selection of the Falling Life Society in 3 months, urging me to go. This whole matter is suspicious. I'll go in 3 months and see what this emperor is truly after. Wong Lin's eyes flashed with sharpness. With a quick step forward, he sped up, using the inch-shrinking technique to head straight for the Dark Scorpion clan's cultivation star. The greedy wolf and his group were moving at great speed. They had already neared the Dark Scorpion clan's cultivation star, and thousands of long rainbows surged through the starry sky, creating ripples and sweeping across with a deafening roar, heading straight for the Dark Scorpion clan's cultivation star. Moments later, the 1,000 long rainbows descended with a thunderous crash. Hundreds of cultivators at the front tore through the gale layer of the cultivation star, heading directly downward. Surrounded by the group, the greedy wolf walked with a proud expression, his steps dignified as he descended. On the Dark Scorpion clan's cultivation star, the sky and earth seemed to change color. The wind and clouds reversed, and the entire sky seemed to be torn open by a giant rift, sword light streaking through the gap. The cultivators on the cultivation star all changed their expressions, gazing up at the sky with terror in their eyes. The heavens rumbled as the sky altered violently, causing the ground to tremble beneath the overwhelming pressure from the cultivators who surged forward. The new gathering point for the Dark Scorpion clan was right at the outer edge of Wong Lin's cave mansion. At this moment, Zhang Dahong stood with his hands behind his back, his face serious as he reprimanded several Dark Scorpion clan members. Behind Zhang Dahong, Elder Zhang followed, his expression respectful and even somewhat satisfied, especially when seeing the Dark Scorpion clan members, whose cultivation was higher than his, quaking in fear and too afraid to speak under Zhang Dahong's scolding. I'm not saying this to be harsh, but look at you. It's been days, right? Days. I asked you to investigate a little information, and not a word has come from you. When the master returns and questions this, do you think you can bear the consequences? Zhang Dahong flung his sleeve and snorted coldly. His cold snort instantly turned the faces of the Dark Scorpion clan members pale. One of them hesitated before cupping his hands and speaking this matter. Before he could finish, his face suddenly changed. He looked up at the sky in shock, and in that instant, all the Dark Scorpion clan members, except for him, also looked up, their faces filled with astonishment. The clan leader of the Dark Scorpion clan, meditating in a valley outside Wong Lin's cave mansion, had returned early at Wong Lin's request. At this moment, he suddenly opened his eyes, revealing a look of horror. His body swayed and he flew into the air. Zhang Dahong was momentarily stunned, then looked up at the sky. Upon seeing the sky, his face turned pale, revealing terror, while Elder Zhang beside him gasped in disbelief, frozen in place. The entire sky was rippling, like the surface of the sea, stirred up by waves. Sword lights rushed from the distance, accompanied by a deafening roar that grew louder and louder, like a roar from the heavens. The Cloud Evasion clan has come here to search for something and has requisitioned the star for 3 months. All members of the Dark Scorpion clan are to leave immediately. No exceptions. A low growl echoed from the 1,000 sword lights that streaked across the sky, shaking the heavens and earth as it reverberated wildly. Cloud Evasion clan, what do you think you're doing? My Dark Scorpion clan may be small, but we are a branch of the Falling Life Society. You. The clan leader of the Dark Scorpion's face changed drastically, and he hurriedly spoke from midair. Before he could finish his sentence, a cold snort descended from the sky. Shut up. The words were icy, instantly drowning out the thunderous roar around them, landing clearly on the earth. At the same time, a figure emerged from the 1,000 cultivators above. As soon as this person appeared, a foul stench spread in all directions. The smell was so intense that the Dark Scorpion clan leader stumbled back a few steps and exclaimed, "Greedy wolf." The stench lingered, suffocating the air, and many of the Dark Scorpion clan members nearly retched from it. Zhang Dahong, whose cultivation was insufficient and unaware of Greedy Wolf's identity, was overwhelmed by the smell and immediately vomited. His retching instantly darkened Greedy Wolf's expression. With a flick of his sleeve, the sky and earth seemed to change color. A massive fan appeared out of nowhere, glowing with light. Greedy Wolf swung it forward with a violent motion. Boom, boom. The earth trembled, and mountains crumbled and collapsed. Even Wong Lin's cave mansion was destroyed in that instant. Hundreds of Dark Scorpion clan members couldn't withstand the gale, spurting blood as their bodies were violently tossed backward like fragile leaves. The Dark Scorpion clan leader struggled desperately, but his body uncontrollably rolled backward. The earth cracked, and the sky seemed to be torn apart. Elder Zhang, after spitting out blood, was gravely injured and fell unconscious, his body flying far away, vanishing from sight. The power of one fan shook all the cultivators in the vicinity. Zhang Dahong, unable to resist the tremendous force, was pulled toward Greedy Wolf. The stench grew stronger the closer he got, and his face twisted in disgust. Does it stink? Greedy Wolf fixed his gaze on Zhang Dahong, his voice slow and deliberate. It doesn't stink. It doesn't stink. Zhang Dahong trembled in fear, desperately holding his breath. To prove his sincerity, he quickly inhaled deeply, his face showing signs of enjoyment. However, this only made things worse as he immediately vomited again. Seeing the cold, murderous intent flashing in Greedy Wolf's eyes, Zhang Dahong screamed in desperation, "My master's cultivation is supreme. If you kill me, you will surely die. The Dark Scorpion clan leader couldn't even withstand one of my master's divine arts. Though your cultivation is high, you are no match for my master." Greedy Wolf sneered. "Your master must be on his way back and could arrive at any time. If you dare to harm me, you will die without a doubt. The Dark Scorpion clan became my master's slaves because they injured me, and you will too." Zhang Dahong, now in a life-or-death crisis, threw caution to the wind and shouted loudly, "Supreme cultivation? If you hadn't said that, perhaps I would have let it go. Since you have a master, I now want to see what kind of ability your master has. You, the servant, offended me, and your master is at fault too. Anyone who offends my reverse scale must die." With a flick of his right hand, Greedy Wolf sent a surge of primordial energy into Zhang Dahong's body, causing him to cough up blood as his body nearly collapsed. He was flung to the ground not far away. "If you and your master are Dark Scorpion clan members, I would have refrained from killing you. But since you're not, I want to see how your master will ensure your death." Greedy Wolf's grand sleeve swept through the air, and a wild wind rose once more, sweeping away the remaining Dark Scorpion clan members, expelling them from the cultivation star. After this, Greedy Wolf turned to the Cloud Evasion clan cultivators surrounding him and spoke arrogantly, "You will stay here and wait for that servant's master. Let me show you the power of my magical artifact. You are lucky to witness me wielding my artifact in your lifetime. In this world, few can match the power of my artifact. I'll let you see how I use it to kill cultivators in the heavenly decay tribulation. You'll never forget this for the rest of your lives." With another wave, a surge of green light seemed to fall like a shower upon the ground, causing the earth to tremble. With a thunderous roar, large trees suddenly sprouted from the earth, rapidly forming a dense forest below. The Cloud Evasion clan cultivators around him were visibly excited. To see Greedy Wolf's magical artifact in action was a dream come true for them. Greedy Wolf's artifact is most often spoken of in the land of falling stars. Today, we are fortunate enough to witness it firsthand. Perhaps we can gain some insight from it. It is said that Greedy Wolf's artifact can kill cultivators in the heavenly decay tribulation. We've never seen such a thing before, and we have no idea what kind of artifact could have such earth-shattering power. Today, we'll finally see it. Nobody knows all the artifacts Greedy Wolf possesses. We are lucky to witness this. It's truly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The Cloud Evasion clan cultivators around were all excited, each respectfully acknowledging the moment. Zhang Dahong, who was on the ground, stared blankly at the scene before him, his mind shaken. He didn't know the identity of Greedy Wolf, but seeing the expressions of the surrounding cultivators, his heart sank. Greedy Wolf's expression was proud as he waved his right hand once more. Immediately, low growls and roars echoed through the forest on the ground, as if the entire forest had awakened. The booming sounds were deafening, and the sight that unfolded before the cultivators made them gasp. The vast forest, amidst the thunderous roar, actually began to rise from the ground. This was no ordinary forest. It was clearly a living being formed by countless large trees. The trees gathered together, forming a massive tree ant that slowly stood up. The tree ant was about 10,000 feet tall, its body enormous beyond imagination. A terrifyingly powerful aura surged from it the moment it stood, spreading across the land. Greedy Wolf's body swayed, and he stood atop the tree ant's head, his expression even more arrogant. He raised his right hand again, and with a flick, the world rumbled, and a giant crack appeared in front of him. From within the crack, a massive furnace slowly emerged and floated beside him. The Celestial Emperor Furnace. This is one of Greedy Wolf's legendary treasures. It's said that when Greedy Wolf was still at the pure Nirvana stage, he used this treasure to kill one of the 3 cultivators at the perfect shattered Nirvana stage who were chasing him and severely injure the other 2. Greedy Wolf waved his right hand again, and the world's colors shifted, fierce winds howled, and black mist suddenly appeared before him, writhing in the air. The mist quickly condensed into a long spear. The spear, made of mist, exuded an earth-shattering power as soon as it appeared. The sight of these magical treasures left the surrounding cultivators in shock. Their gazes toward Greedy Wolf were filled with awe, and even Zhang Dahong was flustered, a bitter taste rising in his heart. Greedy Wolf reveled in this attention. Under such gazes, he could forget the stench on his body, forget the humiliation from the past, and the shadow of fear that Wong Lin had cast on him. These are just a small part of my many treasures. The truly powerful ones are still hidden. I have so many magical treasures, and their power is beyond the reach of even a third-step great power. You are fortunate today. Watch closely and see how long those cultivators who have undergone the heavenly decay tribulation can survive before me. Greedy Wolf's voice boomed like thunder, spreading across the land and invigorating the surrounding cultivators. They were all filled with anticipation. Zhang Dahong's face turned pale, and endless regret flooded his heart. He thought to himself, "It's over. It's over. I didn't expect this person to have so many magical treasures, each more powerful than the last." Judging by the expressions of those around, this person has even killed cultivators who underwent the heavenly decay tribulation and is very famous in the land of falling stars. It's over. It's over. At that moment, the massive tree ant, formed from the entire forest beneath Greedy Wolf, suddenly raised its head, its eyes glowing with a terrifying blue light. Greedy Wolf stood arrogantly, looking up at the sky. The treasures around him rumbled loudly, and faint signs of activation emerged. The surrounding cultivators were immediately stirred and looked up at the sky, eagerly awaiting the display of Greedy Wolf's magical treasures. In the sky, where all eyes were fixed, ripples began to spread. At the center of those ripples, a figure slowly emerged. The figure was tall and slender, slightly blurry at first, but it radiated an aura of coldness that pervaded the land. Greedy Wolf's expression was full of pride, but the moment he saw the blurry figure, his body shook violently. His pupils contracted, his heart skipped a beat, and his mouth dropped open in disbelief. He rubbed his eyes, and when he looked again, his face turned pale. He never imagined that he would see the source of his terror here, the one who had taken all his magical treasures, becoming his nightmare that he could never shake off. Wong Lin. This is impossible. It must be my eyes playing tricks on me. Greedy Wolf's mind roared, his entire body drenched in cold sweat. A storm of fear and shock surged through him, causing his body to tremble uncontrollably. As the figure became clearer, and as Greedy Wolf looked at it again, it felt like a million thunders exploded in his mind. causing his eyes to bulge and disbelief to fill them. The images of his nightmares instantly resurfaced. The primordial thunder dragon was taken, the teleportation cauldron was taken, the rivers and mountains painting was taken, the soul extraction peak was taken. All his treasures had been stolen. The memories flooded his mind like a raging torrent, drowning him in fear and shock. It's him. It's him. How can he be here? This is impossible, impossible. He's inside the inner realm. How could he appear in the outer realm? A natural enemy. He's my natural enemy. He must have found out that I switched to a new set of treasures and is here to steal them again. Everything happened in a flash. The moment that figure became clear and took a step forward, just as the surrounding cultivators brimmed with excitement, expecting Greedy Wolf to strike down the intruder with a powerful magical artifact. Greedy Wolf let out a piercing scream, so shrill it shook the heavens. Without the slightest hesitation or thought, he suddenly leapt backward. His cultivation erupted in full force, and the primordial energy within him surged violently. His speed skyrocketed over 90-fold as he retreated at a pace the naked eye couldn't follow, and even divine sense couldn't lock onto. He vanished in an instant. His escape was beyond description, like a startled bird fleeing an arrow. He didn't even have time to retrieve the magical artifacts he had taken out. In a blink, he had fled without a trace. The moment was so abrupt that all the surrounding cultivators, including Zhang Dahong, stood frozen in place. What divine art did Greedy Wolf just use? He moved so fast, gone in the blink of an eye. Is he preparing to unleash some powerful artifact? His scream just now didn't sound right. It was like he'd seen something terrifying. I think Greedy Wolf was running away. Running? Greedy Wolf. Wong Lin stepped forth from heaven and earth, momentarily stunned. Even with Wong Lin's mental fortitude, catching sight of Greedy Wolf here in the ancient star of antiquity gave him a jolt. But when he looked again, Greedy Wolf had already fled, leaving behind nearly 1,000 stunned cultivators below. Wong Lin's eyes flashed with sharp light. With Greedy Wolf's cultivation, there was no way he could have broken through the sealed realm grand array. Yet now, he was here, and the speed of his escape had left even Wong Lin briefly astonished. In the blink of an eye, Greedy Wolf was likely already far beyond this cultivation star. He hadn't even had time to reclaim the magical artifacts on the ground. Down below, the colossal tree made of forest stood motionless. Without Greedy Wolf's control, it lost all power of destruction. Beside it sat a massive blazing furnace, radiating an ancient aura so oppressive that even from afar, one could feel its terrifying pressure. To the other side lay a long spear made of black mist. It had not fully taken form, constantly shifting between mist and spear, transforming over 100 times in just a single breath. Surrounding these were 9 gigantic stone tablets, arranged like a formation, glowing faintly as they formed a tight protective barrier. Further out, 99 flying swords spun in orbit, their sword chi roaring and intertwining like countless sword dragons surging through the air, shaking the heavens. Sweeping his gaze across the array of magical artifacts, Wong Lin took a deep breath. His pupils narrowed. This Greedy Wolf. After all these years, he's gathered so many magical artifacts again. Wong Lin licked his lips, stepped forward without sparing a glance at the stunned cultivators around him, and raised his right hand to make a powerful grabbing motion. Instantly, a massive illusory hand formed in the air, large enough to cover the sky, and descended. The 99 flying swords at the outer edge trembled violently, as if Wong Lin's conjured hand had magnetic force. It sucked up all 99 swords in one go. With them in his grasp, Wong Lin opened his mouth and spat out a stream of primordial spirit essence. Like a fierce wind, it swept across the swords. A series of explosive bangs followed. The divine sense imprints Greedy Wolf had placed on them shattered instantly. At the very moment Greedy Wolf's imprints were forcibly wiped from the 99 flying swords, in a distant region of the star domain, Greedy Wolf was fleeing in panic, disheveled and frantic. The instant he saw Wong Lin, his mind went blank. He didn't even have time to think of resisting. Subconsciously gripped by a deep-seated terror of Wong Lin, his body had reacted before his mind could. He had unleashed every ounce of speed, fleeing in madness. He was terrified that if he hesitated even a moment, all his artifacts would be seized again, one by one, just like in the past. Though it had all happened in an instant for him, by the time he reached this far-flung stretch of the stars, it was as if his mind suddenly awoke. He halted in the starry sky, his expression flickering. My current cultivation is leagues above what it was back then, worlds apart. I have even more and stronger artifacts now. I can even fight a cultivator undergoing the heavenly decay tribulation. That little brat Wong Lin. Why the hell did I run? Greedy Wolf gritted his teeth, fury rising not at Wong Lin, but at himself. Screw this, I'm not running anymore. I'll go back and kill Wong Lin, settle the score from all those years ago. Murderous intent surged in his eyes as he abruptly turned around, preparing to reverse direction. But at that moment, his face suddenly drained of color. His body shuddered, and his pupil shrank violently. The divine sense on the 99 swords of floating terror was forcibly erased. Damn it, what cultivation level does Wong Lin have now to be able to erase my divine sense imprint so forcefully? Greedy Wolf immediately halted his body, his face dark as water. At this moment, he once again recalled the shadowy nightmare of the past. His thoughts spiraled in his mind, and Greedy Wolf suddenly stamped his foot. Instead of retreating, he rushed straight toward the cultivation star where Wong Lin was. However, after just taking 3 steps, he suddenly stopped again, his face even paler, showing a look of shock. The divine sense imprint on the 9-bone steel. It was also forcibly erased. I obtained this 9-bone steel from the mysterious ancient tomb's outskirts. It hadn't retained any divine sense for tens of thousands of years. After my divine sense imprint, it had completely merged with it. No ordinary person could erase it so easily. Yet, it's only been this short of time, and he's already erased the divine sense on it. Greedy Wolf hesitated. He had a faint feeling that the other party's cultivation was far from simple. Damn it, I escaped too quickly earlier. I didn't have time to assess Wong Lin's cultivation level. But even if he took the bone steel and the flying sword, I still have the celestial emperor furnace and the mist demon spear, not to mention the burial skyward spirit. He can't possibly take them all in such a short time. Today, I will risk it all. Greedy Wolf's face twisted in fury as he charged ahead, rushing back along the route he had fled. However, in just 3 breaths of time, a loud bang suddenly came from within Greedy Wolf's body, and he spat out a mouthful of fresh blood, his face turning pale, undergoing drastic changes. The mist demon spear, it was taken. Greedy Wolf's face was filled with horror, fear surged like a tidal wave in his mind, completely overwhelming him. At this moment, he had no more thoughts of returning to trouble Wong Lin. The idea of frantic escape took over his mind once again. Without a second thought, Greedy Wolf immediately turned around and sped off toward the distance. His speed suddenly increased by more than 90 times, causing a booming sound as he rushed away. Nemesis, nemesis. This damn Wong Lin is the nemesis of my entire life. Greedy Wolf's heart was full of bitterness, thick with unwillingness and anger, but more so with frustration and grievance. He had barely escaped death all those years ago, surviving by the skin of his teeth, relying on great luck to finally obtain a powerful treasure. He thought it was enough to shake the heavens, to create a world of his own. And indeed, in this land of falling stars, he had achieved that. However, just as he had started to enjoy his newfound power, he ran into Wong Lin. Greedy Wolf's heart sank in grief as he let out a furious roar while fleeing. Moments later, as he was roaring, Greedy Wolf's body trembled again, spitting out fresh blood. He staggered, his speed increasing as he fled even faster. Damn it, damn it, damn it. That Wong Lin. Even my celestial emperor furnace was taken. My celestial emperor furnace. Greedy Wolf's heart was in pain, as though a hand had reached into his chest and pulled out his very flesh. I really shouldn't have, showing all those treasures in front of those Cloud Evasion clan cultivators earlier. If I had only shown one, or even none. Greedy Wolf deeply regretted it, his face pale with remorse, roaring as he fled. His speed was now terrifying, and in the blink of an eye, he had already left Wong Lin's cultivation star far behind, speeding deeper into the land of falling stars. On the dark Scorpion clan's cultivation star, Wong Lin's phantom hand swept across the sky, continuously taking away the 9 stone tablets, the mist demon spear, and the massive blazing furnace. His gaze then fell on the huge tree and on the ground. This greedy wolf, this time, has gathered treasures far stronger than back then. Just those 99 flying swords are several times more powerful than the ones from the Slaughter Domain realm. And those 9 stone tablets, seemingly made of bones, contain an incredibly powerful aura. The most important item is the Mist Demon Spear. It contains the aura of the ancient demon. This aura feels ancient. It must have existed for at least tens of thousands of years, if not longer. As for the blazing furnace, this is no simple item. Greedy Wolf's method of leaving his divine sense is completely wrong. It's just like the ancient god cauldron from back then, only controlling its surface. In reality, this furnace is closely related to the ancient demon. Although it doesn't emit any demonic aura, I can still faintly sense that it is connected to the ancient demon. Wong Lin's gaze flickered as his phantom hand fell heavily toward the giant tree ant, which stood motionless on the ground, no longer under control. With a resounding crash, Wong Lin's massive hand landed on the tree ant. As it slapped down, the tree ant roared, but remained completely unmoved. Instead, Wong Lin's phantom hand was rebounded, and a surge of green energy flowed out from the tree ant, causing Wong Lin's phantom hand to tremble violently, exploding into pieces. A gleam of joy flashed in Wong Lin's eyes. He hadn't expected the tree ant to contain such a powerful defensive force. With the strength of his earlier strike, he could have easily killed a shattered Nirvana cultivator. But not only did the tree ant remain unharmed, it actually fought back. It should be known that this is still without anyone controlling it. If someone were to control it, its power would multiply immensely. My treasures mostly come from Greedy Wolf. This Greedy Wolf is a person with great fortune, a beloved of the heavenly Tao, whose treasures are so numerous that they would shock any cultivator. Wong Lin spat out his primordial spirit essence, transforming it into a massive net of light that directly enveloped the tree ant. He then flicked his sleeve, immediately pulling the tree ant into the storage dimension. After doing all of this, Wong Lin turned and looked at the nearly 1,000 cultivators around him, whose minds had been shaken by his actions, revealing expressions of fear. He coldly snorted, raised his right hand, and a jade pendant appeared in his palm. Does anyone here recognize this item? Among the 1,000 cultivators, an elder immediately trembled when he saw the jade pendant. His eyes revealed disbelief, and he hurried forward to take a closer look. His face instantly turned ashen, and he cried out in a hoarse voice, "Imperial decree. Until I return, none of you are allowed to leave. Stay here and wait." Wong Lin spoke coldly, pointing to the excited Zhang Dahong nearby, and added, "Follow his orders." Having given his instructions, Wong Lin's body shimmered, transforming into a rainbow streak heading straight for the sky. As he moved, ripples resonated, and his figure suddenly vanished without a trace. At this moment, as he sped through space, ripples began to ripple through the starry sky ahead of Greedy Wolf. Upon seeing this, Greedy Wolf's face changed drastically. Without hesitation, he immediately changed direction, raising his right hand and grabbing forward, causing a yellowing, withered leaf the size of a palm to appear. The moment the leaf appeared, Greedy Wolf gripped it and forcefully hurled it toward the area where the ripples originated. One leaf seals the heavens. The withered leaf, though ordinary in appearance, erupted with intense yellow light the instant it entered the rippling space. A vast sealing power followed, surging forth. In an instant, the withered leaf seemed to enlarge countless times and directly imprinted itself onto the starry sky, sealing the rippling waves. No matter how the waves struggled, they could not escape the area covered by the leaf. After tossing the leaf, Greedy Wolf dared not look at the result. His body flickered, and purple light instantly flashed beneath his feet, transforming into two masses of purple mist. The mist churned violently, accompanied by eerie, howling roars, and it formed two enormous purple demon shadows. These shadows were unmistakably the appearance of ancient demons. With the two demons underfoot, and amidst the roaring, Greedy Wolf sped up, disappearing without a trace in the blink of an eye. As his figure vanished, within the starry sky sealed by the leaf, Wong Lin stepped out from the rippling waves. His expression was grim, and upon appearing, he raised his right hand and struck out forcefully. With a deafening boom, Wang Lin's right fist collided with the leaf that was sealing the starry sky, causing an explosive sound. Yet, the leaf remained unmoved. A powerful rebound force surged outward, heading straight for Wong Lin. What kind of leaf is this? Wong Lin's pupils constricted. He didn't resist head-on but took a step back. His body instantly merged with the surroundings, not stepping out of the area but instead using a shrinking technique to bypass the leaf and pursue Greedy Wolf. After Wong Lin left, the ripples gradually dissipated. The yellow light of the leaf flashed, and it too vanished without a trace. In the starry sky, Greedy Wolf was speeding away. The two demon shadows beneath him were roaring fiercely, making his speed invisible to the naked eye. As he hurried, his expression suddenly changed. He raised his right hand, and the leaf he had previously thrown reappeared in his palm. Looking at the leaf, a smug smile appeared on Greedy Wolf's face. My one leaf seals the heavens. Even a cultivator at the fifth decay of heaven and man would need considerable effort to break it. I refuse to believe that Wong Lin's cultivation is at the fifth decay of heaven and man. Greedy Wolf put the leaf away and hurried forward. After a while, his body suddenly halted, and he sneered coldly. He swung his right hand again, and once more, the leaf flew out, heading straight for the empty space ahead. As the leaf fell, ripples again spread through the void. It seemed that Greedy Wolf, somehow, had the ability to predict Wong Lin's arrival and exact location. My escape technique is the strongest of all my divine abilities. In this world, few can compare when it comes to escaping. If it weren't for this, with all the treasures on my body, I would have long been spied on and killed countless times. Greedy Wolf sneered, his body flickering again as he rapidly began to flee. But at that very moment, a shocking blood light erupted from the distance, soaring through the starry sky. At first, it appeared far away, but in the blink of an eye, it enveloped the entire starry sky, followed by a sharp, terrifying howling sound. Greedy Wolf's expression immediately changed. He didn't have time to dodge. The bloodlight surged like a tide, rushing toward him at an unimaginable speed. From a distance, the scene was utterly shocking as the monstrous bloodlight, like a vast mouth, sped toward Greedy Wolf and swallowed him up with a tremendous roar. As the bloodlight pierced through Greedy Wolf's body, a series of thunderous bangs echoed throughout the world, followed by the wild sound of metal clashing. A shrill scream rang out, and after the bloodlight faded, Greedy Wolf was violently thrown backward. He spat out a mouthful of fresh blood, his face pale, and beneath his torn clothes on his chest, a dark glow appeared. To his surprise, he was wearing a hidden armor. At this moment, the armor on his chest cracked open, with large fissures spreading outward. The blood sword, shaken by the impact, was flung several dozen yards away. As Greedy Wolf was thrown back, his right hand rose and swung. The two demonic shadows at his feet immediately transformed into swirling black mist, enveloping his body and forming a black storm. It whirled around with a deafening roar, carrying Greedy Wolf away in a desperate flight. All of this happened in the blink of an eye. Just as Greedy Wolf was swept away by the black storm, a leaf-sealed area appeared, and Wong Lin's figure stepped out. Without hesitation, Wong Lin grabbed the leaf from the air with his right hand. The heavily wounded Greedy Wolf could no longer control the leaf. Once Wong Lin grabbed it, he immediately sealed it with a series of restriction runes, without a moment to investigate, and tossed it directly into his storage dimension. When he looked up, Greedy Wolf had vanished without a trace. Wong Lin's expression remained cold, but there was a subtle glint of excitement in his eyes. Interesting. Greedy Wolf really does possess many treasures. Every time I encounter him, I gain great fortune, obtaining countless magical artifacts. Back then, I nearly wiped out all his treasures, thinking he was dead. To my surprise, today he appears again with even more artifacts. I understand his personality somewhat. Unless forced into a corner, he rarely brings out many treasures like he did on the cultivation star. He will only slowly squeeze them out, one by one. Furthermore, he has many secrets. Putting aside where he obtains these treasures from, just the method by which he entered the ancient star of antiquity is something I must know. Wong Lin took a step forward and suddenly disappeared. In this vast starry sky, one chased and the other fled, causing the nearby factions of the land of falling stars to notice. However, upon seeing their speed, they paid no further attention. Anyone with such speed must possess extraordinary cultivation. In his escape, Greedy Wolf cursed inwardly. Wong Lin was like a relentless shadow, sticking to him like marrow to bone. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't shake him off. Along the way, Greedy Wolf began to sense Wong Lin's cultivation and realized that he couldn't contend with him. However, surrendering was not an option he was willing to accept. At this moment, as he sped through space, Greedy Wolf's expression changed again. He sensed a subtle shift in the starry sky on his right side. Gritting his teeth, he raised his right hand. As he grabbed the air, a black jade vial appeared in his palm. The vial was chillingly cold, and dark demonic energy emanated from it. The surface of the vial was etched with patterns, all depicting ancient demons. Spitting out a mouthful of blood, Greedy Wolf placed it onto the vial, shouting, "Grant me 300 demonic souls, and after killing this man, I will return 30,000 life essences." The moment his blood touched the vial, it was immediately absorbed, and at the same time, two sharp stingers shot out from the vial, piercing Greedy Wolf's fingers. His blood began to pour out rapidly, being sucked into the vial. This all happened in an instant. The violet jade vial absorbed enough blood, and at that moment, a deep sigh seemed to emanate from within it, as if it was still unsatisfied. Simultaneously, a mass of black mist exploded from the mouth of the vial, resembling a volcanic eruption. The black mist sprayed out in waves, quickly transforming into a series of terrifying demonic souls, each with a single horn on their heads, unmistakably ancient demons. These ancient demons' eyes gleamed with madness and endless resentment, as if they had been suppressed for countless millennia, enduring unimaginable pain. Now, released, they unleashed an immense fury. The air was filled with their piercing roars, reverberating across the land. In the blink of an eye, 300 demonic souls burst out of Greedy Wolf's body, each exuding the power equivalent to the first decay of heaven and man. They circled around Greedy Wolf, summoning a devastating demonic storm that shocked the heavens and earth. The demonic aura surged wildly. The storm howled as it rushed forward toward the starry sky. In an instant, a ripple spread across the sky, and Wong Lin's figure appeared, though before he could fully emerge, the storm of demonic energy descended. Wong Lin's eyes gleamed with a strange light as he instantly recognized the ancient demons within the storm. Their appearance was eerily similar to that of the ancient demon, Taka, from years ago. There was one distinct difference. The left pupils of these ancient demons did not contain star marks. Instead, they were surrounded by a swirling, murky flow of energy. As the flow spun, the moment it entered Wong Lin's vision, the ancient god star mark on his forehead automatically materialized and began to rotate. Ancient god's aura. Wong Lin's expression changed instantly. He could clearly feel that within the eyes of each ancient demon, where a storm had formed, the swirling energy was unmistakably the condensed power of the ancient gods. These 300 ancient demons were sealed by a powerful ancient god. In the blink of an eye, Wong Lin's mind cleared, and as the storm of ancient demons roared toward him, a series of booming sounds emanated from within him. He tilted his head back and let out a mighty roar. Roar. This was not a roar produced by magical arts, but the roar of an ancient god. The ancient god star mark on Wong Lin's forehead spun rapidly, drawing upon the vast power of the ancient gods, which enveloped his entire body and transformed into a world-shattering howl. With a single roar, the approaching demonic storm trembled violently and came to an abrupt halt, unwilling to advance. Within it, the 300 ancient demons revealed fear in their eyes, and indescribable terror. From the roar, they felt the presence of the ancient god, recalling scenes from deep within their memories. These memories surged like a torrent, overwhelming them completely. With a thunderous crash, the demonic storm collapsed on its own, and the 300 ancient demons scattered in all directions in haste. This transformation was so sudden, so fast, that Greedy Wolf was left stunned, unable to react in time. He stood there, unable to understand how his prized treasure had been torn apart by a single roar. I finally know where you, Greedy Wolf, found these magical artifacts. I never expected that you actually managed to go there. Wong Lin's eyes revealed an uncontrollable joy as he took a step toward Greedy Wolf,